Hey guys, so today we are going to be working on lesson 2.3 and it is solving more number stories. So we are going to be using our cube strategy again to solve these number stories. Our objective is I can solve number stories using the cube strategy. I know I'm successful when I use cube strategies. I use cubes and solve two problems. So today your homework is going to be home link. You're actually going to have two home link pages that you're going to be doing. They're a problem each, so that's how you're going to get your two home links or your two problems. Then you will work on math boxes, and finally you will be working on playing some games in Prodigy. So we are going to continue solving some of these problems. These problems are in your book on page 38 and 39. This first problem isn't in your book, but follow along with me and then be ready on the next couple of slides to solve in your book as well. So let's go ahead and go through reviewing cubes so that we remember the steps that we use to solve it. So we are going to circle the numbers and the units. We're going to underline the question, box in those math action words, evaluate and eliminate the information, and then show your work and solve the problem. So I'm going to read the first problem. Troy has $15 in his piggy bank. He earned money by walking his neighbor's dog for 2 weeks. Now he has $60 in his bank. How much money did he earn? So I'm going to go through my cubes, circling the numbers, and I can see $15 is my first one. I can also see $60 is the second one, so I've checked those off. Underlining the question, how much money did he earn? And then box in the math action words. So he earned money. So when you earn something, you are getting more money. So I know I'm going to add some more money. And then it says he walked him for 2 weeks. Now he has $60 in his bank. How much money did he earn? So I want to find out how much he earned. I'm going to evaluate my problem. So I know that he started with $15 and he earned some money, and I don't know how much he earned. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I know that in the end, he has $60. I'm going to use my start change diagram to help me figure out what to do. So he started with $15 and then he earned, and I know that earned means add, but I don't know how much he earned. And then it says he now has $60. So he ended up with $60. If I were to solve this kind of from left to right, I could say 15 plus something equals 60, but I don't know what that something is. So I want to think about my fact families, and I know that with my fact families, I can do addition or I can do subtraction. So I'm actually going to subtract these two numbers to find the difference or how much it changed. So I can do 60 minus 15. I can't do 0 minus 5, so I'm going to go to the tens place and trade it. Instead of having 6 tens, I'm going to have 5 tens. I'm going to put that other 10 in the ones place. So I have 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. So I am left with $45. So he actually earned $45. Now, I know that in my diagram, I have what would be this number sentence, but I want to actually write the number sentence for what I did to solve it. So this is the number sentence that I use to actually find the solution. So that's what I'm going to actually write on my number sentence line. So I'm going to say 60 minus 15 equals 45. And I want to make sure I know that what my unit is, so I'm going to put my dollar sign back in there. So I've evaluated and eliminated. I showed my work, And I can check this just to make sure. So the way that I would check it is I would do 15, and then I'm going to put my 45 in here and check to see if that works, if that makes sense. So 15, and then I would put 45 here. So when I check my work, I should come up with 16 or 60. So I'm going to do 50 plus 15 plus 45. 5 plus 5 is 10. I'm going to take my 10 to the tens column, and then I have 1 plus 1 plus 4, and that is 6. I checked to make sure that it made sense, and I did find for sure that if he started with $15, he earned $45. So when he walked his neighbor's dogs, they gave him $45, and now he has 60. That's how I checked my work. All right, so looking at number 1 in your book, it says Cleo had $37. Then Julian returned $9 that she borrowed. How much money does Cleo have? So again, going through cubes, I can see 37 and 9. My question is, how much money does Cleo have now? My math words. This one's a little bit tricky because it says Julian returned. So if you return something, Julian would be getting less money. And then there's this borrowed. Well, if you borrow money, you're getting more. So it's kind of tricky. We have to really pay attention to these two girls in this number story to figure out what's happening. Because I don't know if I'm going to add or subtract. So I need to evaluate this. So I'm thinking about Cleo. She had $37 in the beginning. And then Jillian returned the money. So that means Jillian gave the money back to Cleo because she had borrowed this money from Cleo. So at this point in the problem, Jillian's giving the money to Cleo. So if Cleo's getting money, then we're going to need to add money. So we're going to say add, and she returned 9. So we're going to add $9. And we're going to see how much she has now, which is going to be the end. So my number grid or my diagram, I would put in 37. It changed by increasing by 9. And then I want to find out how much she has. Because I have my numbers going left to right, I can use this as my number model. So I could do my work, show my work, 37 plus 9 equals 9 plus 7 is 16, and then I'm going to carry that 10 up here, and so I have 4. Cleo has $46 in her, that she has now. My number model, again, would be what I use to solve it, which is this right here. I'm going to do 37 plus 9. And before I solved it, I didn't know the answer, so I'm going to actually put a question mark there. So 37 plus 9. I have evaluated it, and I have shown my work to solve it. So Cleo now has $46. Looking at number 2. Make sure that you guys are writing this in your book and following along. Audrey has $61 in her bank account. She took out $48. How much is left in her account? Thinking about cubes, she had 61 and 48. So I circled my numbers, underlining the question, how much is left in her account? And then boxing in my keywords. Well, it says she took out $48. And when you take money out of your account, you're subtracting. But I also see how much is left. And left is one of those numbers that helps me to understand that I'm going to be subtracting as well. So I'm going to put my information into my diagram at the bottom. It's a start change. And I'm going to evaluate what I want to do. So she started with $61. And she took out that money. So take out means subtract. And we're trying to find out what she has left or what's the end. Again, because I'm going from left to right and I don't have any missing pieces and I want to know the end, I can use this as my number story, my number model. So I'm going to say 61 minus 48. I can't do 1 minus 8, so I'm going to go to the 10 and trade. Instead of having 6 tens, I'm going to have 5 tens, but I have to add that 10 to the ones place, so I have 10 plus 1 is 11. Now I can subtract. 11 minus 8 is 3. 5 minus 4 is 1. She has $13 left. So I'm going to write it in. I need my unit, which is the dollar sign. So she has $13. My number sentence that I'm going to write is what I use to solve it. So I'm going to say 61 minus 48 equals something, question mark. Now, how do I know my answer makes sense? Well, I could go backwards and I could add these things together. So if I add what she has left, $13, to what she took out, I should get what she had in the beginning. So I'm going to add those two numbers together, 13 and 48. And I should come up to 61. So 8 plus 3 is 11. I'm going to carry that 10, and 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 6. So my answer does check when I solved it. Number 3 is another problem. This time I'm not using a start change box. I'm actually using a quantity difference. If I remember correctly, difference means to subtract. So I'm going to look at my number story and read it. Pedro has 60 cents. He bought grape juice and had 25 cents left. How much money did the grape juice cost? So circling my numbers, 70 and 25, underlining how much money did the grape juice cost, and boxing in the math words. I don't really have any good math words here. I do have one, actually. He bought something. So when we think about it, bought means that he is taking away. So his money is going to get smaller because he bought something. So thinking about my quantity, I know that he started with 70 cents. And I don't know how much the grape juice is. That would be my other quantity. So I'm going to put in my question mark. But I do know how much he had left, which is 25. And actually that left could be another keyword. So normally I would add my two quantities to get, or actually I would subtract my two quantities to get the difference. Well, I don't know the quantity, but I can subtract the quantity and the difference to get how much the grape juice cost. So I'm going to subtract these two numbers. So I'm going to subtract 70 minus 25. I can't do 0 minus 5, so I'm going to go to the 7 and that. Take one of those 10s, it leaves me with 6. Add the 10 here. 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 minus 2 is 4. He paid 45 cents for the grape juice. Now I need to make sure that when I write is 45, and then it's not dollars, it was cents. So put the cent sign at the end. My number model is going to be this one that I used to solve it. How did I find that answer? I said 70 minus 25 equals, I know the answer now, but I would have said question mark. I need to check my work, and what I can do is add up how much the grape juice cost and how much he had left, and those two together should come up with what he originally had, how much money he had. So I'm going to do check my work and say 45 plus 25. I'm working backwards. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 6, and then one more is 70. So my answer does make sense when I solved it. All right, you guys are going to work on the last one on your own in your book. And then after you finish that in your book, you are going to go to your assignments. You have 2 Cami assignments, one home link, one math journal, and then you are going to play Prodigy after you're finished. If you have any questions, let me know.